Okay, we are back. Welcome back, part 2, Fusewrights Union, episode 9. You guys just did a prison break. If we want to have a scene before all the heat and rep and stuff, I think we could have scenes if we're on the boat. So I think Caslin wants to. We could have a scene with her reaction to that.
See, as it's not actually a part of the job, let's just finish the job stuff first and then go into scenes.
Okay, cool. So
yeah, because your Adric's idea could help reduce heat, maybe? I don't know.
We'll see.
I'd be okay with trying that.
Don't know if that's true. But let's do after the score. So, where are we? The score after the mission.
Did Ulf survive?
No, Ulf did not survive.
What about the bill
survived.
hooks?
Not all of the bill hooks were there, but all of Ulf's gang was there. Ulf Ironborn, the faction, is dead now.
Nice.
Mission accomplished. You don't walk into my house and be mean. This is what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen,
more than a child.
We got him.
So firstly, payoff. The crew earns 2 rep per score by default. If the target of the score is higher tier, take +1 rep per tier higher. The highest tier that you grappled with here was Iron Hook Prison, which is tier 4. You guys are tier 1. So that is +3. That's 5 rep.
Bing.
Nice.
That's all. That's 3 rep, and then we wrap with it. Wraps, right?
Yes.
So we're 1 strong? Yeah.
We're
2 strong, right?
So we're...
No, 1 strong.
Tier 1 strong.
Yeah.
Oh, tier 1 strong, yes. And then
we just went from weak to strong, which is nice.
Yep. And we have 2 rep on the next track.
Yep. Very nice. You earn a coin based on the nature of the operation. I don't know if you earn any coin.
Can we loot the bodies?
There's nothing.
I wouldn't stick around long enough.
We loot. Nope. I get the coin in.
Wait. Hold on.
We just empty it.
Yeah, we go to where Ulf's gang used to be and just loot.
Just loot.
That could be our next. That could be our supply. Because we sold. Wait. Oh. We sold him bombs. We can go get our supply back.
Okay.
We'll worry about that
later. I think
later.
0 coin +2 because of supply, and then I think 2 ticks undone
that's right.
on the out of supply clock. It's not gone.
But does the supply trigger for this?
The supply, like your supply thing, yes. Whenever you're done.
It's for show of force or socialized.
Oh.
So I guess that counts as show of force.
My mistake. I keep thinking it's effort.
Oh, you're thinking the local graft.
Yeah, we don't get the 2 coins for that.
My mistake.
So that's different than the job types because the options are sale, supply, show of force, or socialize. And if it's any of those, yeah, I'd argue show of force.
Yeah.
True.
It definitely wasn't sale. It's
show
not
of force
supply,
is not
and it's not socialized.
I would say it is show of force, because it is not that's not a like.
It's not like a type
job, just a score type. It's just did you show force, in which case you did. I see it.
Okay, so that's 2
I'd
coin
say
in the
2 coin from the local graph, that would be it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think if you want, go get your bombs back from Ulf.
I think that'll be the next mission.
The next job.
Does that need to be a job?
Yeah, so. But I agree. The two ticks on the out of supply clock removal makes the most sense, and then we could do our own supply full score.
Yeah,
getting back one shipment isn't enough to get us back in business.
That's fair.
It's a couple things to tide you over. And even most of the bombs you sold him, most aren't there anymore. This isn't you get a crate back, maybe 2. Out of the several.
There could be some other benefits to that, which we'll talk about later. But specifically, a cover operation because he owns a bar.
Yeah, we could take some of his
and another gang because I'm sure he didn't bring everybody. Yeah,
he brought everyone available.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could. We're real close to Vice Den. If we by force take his bar, we can get that.
that would
be a
den,
vice
yep.
den.
So the one trick with that is it's always our tier, which is currently 1, minus our heat, which is never low.
No, it's tier roll.
Still,
tier
our
roll.
heat is
It's a tier
almost
roll.
usually.
Yeah. So it's 1 to 6.
Yep.
Minus heat, which is usually about 6.
But we have a bunch of because we don't have to worry about healing and stuff for this. We have a bunch of downtime actions that we could use. We have 9 downtime actions. Out of those 9 downtime actions, at least 1 can be heat reduction to try to get us in a better foothold for the next thing. Because we should take advantage of all of this not needing to heal for 90% of our downtime.
Yeah. This is a golden opportunity.
So heat.
Yeah, this is going to be the bad part.
No.
Nobody
The
really
only
knows us.
source of any heat is that there's now rumors of Grine and the Heartcalm stuff that appeared from this. That's it. So it's not 0 heat, it's 2 heat. It's in fact, it's only 2 heat.
5 total.
Yeah, well, they're questioning. People are like over the course of the next week or two, people are there questioning every single person in the entire district. So they do hear about this situation and put it on the map. But that's just 2 heat because it doesn't seem relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my only involvement, if word continues to get out, was to be there to laugh at Ulf. Not that we were involved in the score at all. So
yeah, it's just someone like makes a footnote like, "Hey, check up on this at some point eventually." That's all it is.
The person that would care the most got beat up by demons, so
Yep.
Not beat up, eaten.
Yeah.
well, I'm sure tenderized first.
A little saute.
Who wants to roll entanglements?
Adric.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
We're at 5 heat, so it's the center table.
Well, it's Adric rolled engagement rolls.
Yeah.
And it's just a roll 1d6, right?
2 take the lowest, actually.
Yeah.
You roll
'Cause
your
we're at-
wanted level.
Yeah.
which is 0
We are not
feet.
wanted.
Yep.
So it's 2d6 take the lowest.
4.
Well, 4.
4 to
So
5.
reprisals are unquiet dead.
Okay.
Oh.
So reprisals,
No more
an enemy
ghosts.
faction makes a move against you. Pay them 1 rep and 1 coin per tier of them as an apology. Allow them to mess with you or yours, or fight back and show them who's boss. Or the
I
unquiet
kind
It's
of
dead.
like that
Adric,
one.
it's also your choice because you rolled. You get to pick which one you think is
Yeah.
more interesting.
mm-hmm.
Do you want the
I-
details first?
Sure.
Okay. 1. The Ghost of Ulf Ironborn. Of course. Of freaking course it is. 2. Jade Eyes is going to make a move against you.
You'd have to pay her-
Beautiful.
Is it per tier higher than
It's per tier
us
in
they
general.
are?
No, per tier of
That's-
them. It'll be 3 rep and 3 coin.
Which we don't have 3
Don't
coin.
have.
Unless
so we
someone's
would
dipping
need-
into their retirement.
Or
I could dip.
the Ghost of Ulf Ironborn shows
It
up.
was fight back and show them who's
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, we can
Does that
put
mean
them
we
in their
go-
place.
Does that
Yeah.
mean we go to war
This
against
means we would
them?
immediately have a free play scene fighting them. Jumping into it before downtime.
You
guys aren't
before?
harmed. Yeah.
Is entanglements?
Oh,
Entanglements is before
before.
downtime.
Listen.
Entanglements are before. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we can't go back and rep, right? Like we've already got our rep. We're 2 up, so we can't pay them 3 rep.
It's not actually.
You know what? I don't actually know. Could you go down?
I mean, general, just game design of Apocalypse World and those types of things. Once a track advances, it doesn't de-advance.
I
You just
tend
go to
to-
0.
Yes, but when it comes to tier and specifically, this is like your crew's hold and strength that is meant to fluctuate a bit.
Right.
So it could. I think I'm gonna say it could tentatively right now.
With the Unquiet Dead, if we had Ulf, that's not, I got unpossessed, I get repossessed again.
It
You
is
just-
a rogue spirit is drawn to you, the crew, not specifically Adric. it is. Let's just say if you thought Ulf Ironborn was bad before he became a bloodthirsty ghost.
Listen, this is the best one because our lair is also,
It's protected.
I think,
it's like you have
protected from ghosts, and I have electroplasmic ammo. I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the ghost of Ulf Ironborn right now is our better call.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Sorry,
Besides,
Hicks,
we
we're
have
not going to solve your
history.
problem for you.
We
Fine,
literally
I guess
can't.
I'll fix my own problems.
So I think that the way this will work is this isn't a single scene. This is you as a crew are being haunted by Ulf, and he is like his entire ghostly, unable to sleep existence is ruining you. That is what he wants above anything else. Vengeance, and he like knows it was you, even though like he shouldn't.
I am willing to spend downtime to get rid of him.
All right. Well,
I mean, can we just give his undying spirit to Skurlock to be tortured unto the end of time for whatever nefarious means he has?
Or, hear me out. Ulf is a vampire now. We make Ulf vampire.
No, that's a terrible idea. He's
enough
gonna eat
vampires.
us.
We already have Sierra as a vampire. Vampires.
I did not put in all this work just to be back to square -5.
Yeah. Listen, we went 2 steps forward. You want us to run a mile behind?
Yeah.
Whatever.
If we're back on the boat, I would love to move forward with my next plan, which is the spirit wardens are in absolute disarray, and we know that there's at least one that's left back at the house, the one before that was injured that I out of, so let's go kidnap him. Or at least that's what I'm going off to do.
Are we moving into downtime? Because that's the real question.
We're moving into downtime. The
Pre-play at
Iron Hook.
least.
Yeah, no, this isn't a specific scene, so we don't have a scene with Ulf's ghost right now. I think this is. I think just the only scene we have is probably after like less than a week, 5 days, like pretty quick for him to already show up. His ghost is like outside, looking in your windows or like across the street from your house, just like staring, and it's just always somewhere there watching you.
Yeah, I open up the window, I see Ghost Ulf, and I go, I got him.
Yeah,
you just start firing. Like,
he's not. Remember, he's not always visible, but you can tell, especially with your phoenix,
my bird.
Creepy voyeur Scav looking in the windows.
He's just like this all the time.
Do you want to do your free play thing first, Marissa?
Is it free play or is it a downtime action?
Oh, that's definitely got to be free play. There's no way I'm going to get out of that without any kind of problems.
Acquire asset, kidnap victim.
acquire asset, asset, as in person.
Yes.
Well, are you doing this the same day?
Like
I'm intending to do this the same day. Like, if I'm dropping you off at home in the boat, I'm going to keep using the boat to get to Brightstone. I want a way out.
Is it you alone, or is any of the gang with you, or?
I doubt that the gang is with me. I'll let the others know what I'm doing and make the offer if any of them want to come.
I only have 2 available stress.
If they aren't ordered to, they won't. They're gonna go back.
I only have 2 available stress here, so I can help maybe once.
Grine will go. He recognizes the worth of this.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going just because I told your sister I'd watch you, and she's literally on our boat, and I can't let you go away by yourself now.
Okay, so it's just Hicks and Castellan go back to the base, basically.
I don't think we make I think it's Hicks on the boat while we stop at the Spirit Warden's place for a quick smash grab kidnapping.
Cool. Those who are going, what's your what did you say your load was again?
Normal.
Remember how I said it matters in White Crown?
It does.
Normal means you still look like a scoundrel in White Crown, so that'll make things interesting.
Is it set? Can you go down? Can you be like, I don't need all this crap and just leave it on the boat?
Yes, if you intentionally go down and leave stuff behind, I'd say so.
Remember, we have
not in the
hawker's
school
rigging.
anymore.
so we can go down and still take
a
something.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
you can.
still gonna stick
we're
with
in free
normal.
play, and so if you want to intentionally like make yourself look somewhat like you fit in, but you're Adric, you're not.
I'm looking at this as a smash and grab. Like, I'm hoping to deal with the chaos, get in, get out, but I don't think that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Grind will
Okay.
stay outside, I think, during this. Like, you guys go in, I'll handle anything that comes our way that could complicate things.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. As you saw before, the Master Warden's estate is this building here, and it is surrounded with like 15-foot tall spiked like fancy silver spiked fence everywhere.
I'm assuming they're
Right.
they're faintly glowing with electricity because I'm assuming the Spirit Warden Castle has their own anti-ghost measures and not just the normal city one.
That would be correct. But yeah, no, they are in White Crown, is where the estate is.
Just quick character question. Do I feel weird around the anti-ghost stuff, or do I just feel like a normal dude?
Well, the thing about the anti-ghost stuff is not very good if you can tell it's coming. So ghosts tend to not notice it coming and then get, ghost disintegrated.
Oh, do I count as part ghost? It's what I'm really asking
No.
here.
I don't.
Does he have the tag of ghost?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Okay,
Not in the
cool.
standard effect. You definitely count as,
And-
as supernatural, but not as a ghost.
But
Like-
the spirit wardens use these crows. Yeah, they're
They use
an
the Death
asset of the
Seeker
wardens.
crows, but the Death
So-
Seeker crows are not based here. They have other
Okay.
places. Bellwether Crematorium is their roost.
Maybe I could get a bell. I'm coming with you because I want a bell.
Okay, you're not
I
going
need
to
to know how
Bellwether
they work.
Crematorium though.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, you are going to the fancy, pristine manor of the Master Warden's estate. So you show up there. There's people. The Spirit Wardens are bustling about. They are like, it almost feels like another score. If all three of you going, you want to break in and kidnap a person.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of people there, I would like to recommend to Adric, perhaps this isn't the right time.
And there are a lot of people there. Many of them are, like, you see a squad of them are probably 24 Spirit Wardens, like probably more than you've seen together, definitely more than there were back there, are like arming up. They're putting on like this weird like copper-plated armor over their uniform of some kind, and they're like dressing in some heavy equipment in preparation to go. You can see through the fences.
If being suggested that we don't do it till they're gone, my counter is they're getting ready to go. When they are gone, this place is going to be empty. We'll wait till then.
It doesn't look like it will be empty. It still looks like there'll be another 24 at least spread throughout the manor.
24 spread throughout the manor is.
How big is the
A
manor?
lot.
Is the real
That's a
question.
lot.
24 guys that can all descend on you within, I'd say, 10 minutes.
You hear a familiar keening mechanical sound, and in the
They're rolling out the hulls.
yeah, they're pulling out a hull, and it's hard to tell. It might actually be the same hull that you saw before, but it comes out of one of the larger double doors out of the front entrance and joins the squad to leave to go. And like this is our Scorched Earth squad. They're coming. They're sending out to deal with the situation.
Something about the demon
Can I-
attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get a close enough look at that armor to figure out maybe what it's for? Because copper armor doesn't seem like it would stop bullets.
No,
It's
doesn't.
obviously something special.
Yeah. Make a study roll if you'd like. This will be
Okay.
risky. They might notice you guys, especially with the hull possibly recognizing you.
Yeah, we might run. Okay.
And this will be
Uh.
standard. I think you can tell.
All right. Well, I've got one dot in here that could be.
I cannot help you because I will trauma out if I do.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just
Help
gonna
you.
roll it. And
Staring
we
at.
know it or we don't. I mean,
I'll still give you the help there. Again, I'm still trying to get stress and
okay.
something that's interesting.
So we'll put our heads together and try to figure out. Like, I figure Adric knows body armor pretty well, and Grind knows,
Yeah,
sciencey stuff pretty well. So
that's fair.
I just keep an eye out then.
6.
Nice. Okay. So, what their armor is protective against both. It looks like it may be something new. You probably heard rumors of it being developed, but it was never fully finished back when you were working in the university. Looks like it's finished now. It is specifically meant to protect against, actually, primarily demons and devils and darker powers than just ghosts. It offers most protection against that. Some minor protection against ghosts, but not much. It's meant for, like, yeah. If a demon directly attacks this, it kind of dampens it.
Is this enough of a view of it to start a long-term project to develop our own?
Yes, I think you could start. You can start that. Like,
Well, yeah. If anything, it tells you that it can be successfully done because that was like,
yeah,
that's
it can
something
be
when
made.
they're developing it that you would not be like, well, I don't know if it's going to work at all. Why even try? But you know for sure that the theory works if the spirit wardens are using it. If you know the general theory from when you were in the university, and you know that the general theory works, you could then make your own from that. It just won't be the same like design.
Exactly.
So before the hull came out, Adric was like, okay, we're going to do this. If you don't want to come, that's fine, but this is going to be our best shot. When the hull comes out, it's like, it's that moment of kind of freezing again, like, oh, drat it, I did not realize that this thing was here. Okay, but it's going to leave? That makes it even better. This is going to be our best and only shot. If you don't want to rush in, fine, we'll not rush in. Let's sneak in, let's get it and get out. But this is going to be our best chance.
We don't know what else is in there, Adric. There could be more than one. I think we need to make this a bigger deal than like a one-off. Also, your sister's on the boat, and I'm pretty sure she's got like 4 traumas now.
Just on the corner rocking.
She is not quite fetal position, but she is just staring into space, trembling.
Glance over at her, but like looking back at the manor, it's like, okay.
I understand why you want to go in there, but
There's not going to be a better shot.
I don't know if right now is the shot. I think we gotta have our demon friends help us more before they're weak enough where we can go in. Or we need to build up more.
You think we're going to get more than this chaos? Than the chaos we left behind?
Yeah, what do you think happens when Satara wins? There will be plenty of opportunities then.
We've shown them that we can make them bleed. We just have to let them bleed a little more before we do this.
Pedrick is not happy, but he is going to take a look at the hull and remember the line that you said that there might be a couple more in there.
We don't know how many more there are. That might not even be
the
the same one.
I'll put in a tipping point and be like, I've heard the infirmary is on the top floor.
I just got it.
Look at the hull, look up, and be like, fine, then let's at least make something out of this. Let's head to Ulf's.
All right.
Yeah, and then we do that because we already, that's part of the wrap up of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's there. I think the only person there right now is that bartender who is beat up and forced still. He's still there, but he's just doing it under
Still
now.
Kellen?
It's the same guy. Kellen's still there. And he's like,
Call the Kellens.
yeah, he's wiping mugs as he normally does. Well, actually, he doesn't normally, but he is this time. sort of like, okay, my bar is empty for once. And then as soon as that
Kick in the
happens,
door.
you kick out in the door. He's like, oh, what do you want now?
Yeah, we like just like
Just
march
shoot him
Walk
in the
in,
foot,
take
tell
the
him to
same-
shut
Run
up and
down
take
to
all
the
the shit.
cellar, completely ignoring you.
Yeah, he doesn't try to
Yeah.
stop you. He's just like watches in.
It's like, no, that's Ulf's.
No, he doesn't even say that. He just like watches, half entertained and half like, why do these things keep happening in my bar?
I think as like our
Uh,
goons are carrying stuff out, I'm gonna go. You might need some better protection, and I hand him a business card.
Nice.
As we're leaving, I think
Somebody's better
Brian will
protection,
shoot him a
he
look
says.
and say, "The bar's yours again." However, if you harbor a bunch of anti-skull racists in here again, we'll be back. And you saw what happened last time, yeah?
Yes.
Good. Glad we understand one another. And I can't. You can't like a coin is a lot of money, right?
Coin's
Can I, like,
a lot of
flip
money. You can just flip him
small,
a yeah.
a
You
dollar.
can give him $1. You can give him like
Yeah.
like a few bucks, and it won't matter.
Like a
Yeah,
normal
something
tip for a
insulting, like
Like a normal tip. Like you just ordered a beer.
Yeah. Okay.
I also say, get rid of that Severosi ale too. It's not as good.
I like it. Screw you.
It's sweet. It shouldn't be sweet.
Different people have. Yeah, he's like yelling at the door, like different people have different tastes. Yeah.
sweetened mushroom beer. Who does these things? It's gross.
You want the beer to make you hate yourself, not want to drink a latte.
The beer
That's the
represents
Scotland
self-loathing.
way.
Yeah. Okay. Downtime. So we didn't decide to commit suicide by Spirit Warden.
No,
Nope.
very surprising. That didn't happen.
All right.
I feel for the best.
Where do you put Caslin? Do your crew have does your base have quarters? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yep.
quarters.
You
yeah,
have-
it does.
Okay, so yeah, you can put her in one of the quarters if you want to. There's
Let's
probably
put her
some-
in a low room, like somewhere low on the tower, just in case she gets crazy.
Okay, like one of the servants' bedrooms or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so helpful.
Okay.
Also, Adric doesn't have a hard time going to see
Cool.
her.
No, she just kind of
Yeah.
stays there. Like she's not entirely like she's not silent, but she's just quite like goes along with you and is still in shock and just kind of sits there for a bit and probably just spends the day in bed processing.
Seems fair.
I've got a free time thing for that. Adric, you might want to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, so just want to start with down the first round of.
I don't even know
Downtime?
what to do with my downtime. I'm like so surprised we didn't.
You have
Yeah.
stress.
I
Yeah.
gotta do that for sure.
Okay. What do you do for stress?
Paging Dr. Skurlock. Let's talk about my sister.
Oh, good. Okay. So you show up at Scarlock's like the next day or sometime within the next couple days.
Yeah, just whenever.
Yeah, and it's the normal creepy thing. Like the door opens magically as you're about to knock. No one's there to open it. He's sitting in the same spot, like the master chair at the head of the dining table, with tea ready for you, like he almost knew you were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And he says,
Hi.
as usual, he says, like, "Welcome, Zaid. It's
Hi,
good to
how's
see
it going?"
you." Quite well. I've heard many interesting rumors and facts about the ongoings in the city. You've done well.
Well, it depends on what rumors and what facts you've heard, my friend.
Shall we get started?
Yeah. I just hold out my arm.
Just narrative point. Did he hear about Grind? And is this where Zaid finds out?
Ooh.
Right,
How-
Grind
how-
and Zaid haven't had a blowout over the fact that
No.
No,
Yeah.
there's
I figure news hasn't hit Zaid yet because it's circling around and we've been busy.
yes. So I think
Is he that
he
bitch?
just while he's experimenting on you, he's just chatting. Like he says, like, I didn't expect you and your union to be so effective with everything. And he just like, and this with the spirit wardens, and this with the demons, and he mentions the stuff you did in the past too. And then as one of the things, just casually, in that way where you can't tell if he's actually doing it casually or he's slipping it in there intentionally, he says, and the Heartcom incident as well. To think that secretly one of your own was involved with that. Oh, it's just delightful. It's like witnessing a novel.
What?
It's like witnessing a novel. You have those,
No,
right?
I don't know what is heart calm. I'm not learned like yourself.
Your people, they have been mentioning how the night of long farewell, you call it, was caused by a chemical. And he just says this slowly, and if it wasn't for his expression, you would think hesitantly, but it almost seems like he's saying it in a savoring way. When he says, and now the rumors are going around that your friend Grine was somehow involved in developing the chemical that resulted in that night.
Oh, well, don't believe all the rumors you hear.
Oh, I don't. I believe the ones that are true.
What do you think about that one?
Oh, it's interesting. It's been quite some time since I've reached out to my contacts at the academy. But Grine is a brilliant scientist with a penchant for chemistry. He absolutely has the capability of developing such a effective tool.
Perhaps I'll have a chat with him later.
Just nods silently, smiling.
Speaking of chats, have you seen Syrah?
No, unfortunately. I have been making an attempt to contact her. I'm sure that you're aware that vampires just love to socialize. So I thought that she could use a friend. Alas, I have had no luck yet.
Well, what better friend than her good old brother to pal around with? I'm weird. She's now weird. We could go to weird parties together.
I'll be sure to pass along any invitations to you and to her if I can find her.
You know what? I'll go looking for her. Plaster her new face on milk cartons. It'll be great.
I love the fact that Skurlock thinks that he's the authority on weird parties.
And with that, I will indulge my vice.
Yep.
6.
Nice. What was your stress at?
1, 2. Oh wait, doesn't it say here somewhere?
It blanked out. Oh, too long.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, nice. So yeah, despite the fact that we see you get more stressful when he mentions the grind thing, you know what? Things are okay. Just need to have
whatever he does is like kind of relaxing. It's like those like the like cupping things that people do on their backs. It's like it hurts, but it might feel good.
Okay, awesome. Who wants to go next?
Well, I've got a long-term project that I want to start now.
Spirit resistant armor.
Well, demon resistant armor. Because
if Grind's working on that as a long-term project, can I show up, not particularly help, but talk shop as a means of reducing
Stress?
stress? Like, show up to go talk with, like, show up when Grind's working on this and basically just sit on a bench in the corner with a 6-pack of beer and, like, comment about this,
see
like,
that.
weird armor project he's working on.
I see that.
It could be that scene where we're like talking about something and you accidentally help Grind figure something out
Yeah.
by something
What about
innocuous
this
you
thing?
say.
Because it's not... Yeah, like, Hicks, you still know your stuff in a different way than Grind.
Yeah.
And in a sort of not as advanced way, or I like to think Hicks thinks outside the box more than Grind.
Yeah, but is less technically proficient at
Yeah.
the stuff.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to make myself part of the scene and have my own downtime action, even if they don't directly connect.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think that in terms of long-term projects, this will be an 8 clock to like invent the first one of it. To craft more will be after, but it'll be an 8 clock to invent it.
Okay.
What this long-term project could help us, like, work on, if you're thinking ahead, we have these people, we have these sea demons, and we can learn how to prepare products for demons.
Yes.
Something we could sell the demons is a way past the Spirit Warden armor.
What do they have to pay with?
Blood.
So
Favors.
there's a whole inventing thing. So let's go through this. To invent a formula for a new alchemical concoction or the plan for a new item of your design, you need to study it as a long-term project, is what it says. Most new formulas or designs will require an 8-segment progress clock to invent and learn. The player and the GM answer the questions below to define what it would do in play and what is required to create it. So the first question I ask you, what type of creation is it, and what does it do? So you actually get to define this. You saw the idea.
Yeah. It's supernaturally resistant armor. And if it has to be more specific than that, it's based on whatever the Spirit Wardens is. So specifically demon resistant, I would guess. But
Yep. That makes sense to me.
So is it mundane, alchemical, arcane, or sparkcraft?
Yes. So in this case, it would be probably a combination of arcane and sparkcraft, but closer to arcane. Your question to me then is: can you see the handout?
yeah, I'm because I don't have what is it, Artificer yet. I'm wondering if I can actually tweak the invention to not so much an armor, but a coating that I can put on things.
Is it a coating or is it a serum that lines your veins with copper?
You get to. I'm asking you what it does. So, or what is it as well? So,
I feel like ingestible copper spirit stuff is probably a bad idea. So yeah, probably like some substance that you just coat things with and maybe bake it on to harden it, you know.
Okay. And that makes it like protects it from supernatural effects?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Now, I have a question. Could a secondary effect of this spray be, let's say, before you put shrapnel in a bomb, you coat it in this shit, and then it pierces demons?
Yeah, if we want to limit it to specifically be like a defensive thing you have to put on something that's on yourself, probably makes it easier. Or not harder, let's say.
But that'll also take up an armor box, usually, wouldn't it?
I think it's I would have to make the thing, so we would use the thing on the armor, and when you tick your armor, it's now capable of doing the other thing. Right? It's not just physical harm, it's
yeah.
Demon harm.
Well, it would be something you could have in a bandolier, which is what it would be. It would be a vial you could have in your bandolier because you have access to it because you can make it. It'd be a vial you can have in your bandolier that is like demon juice. I don't know what this word for it, but it'd be like a vial you could have crash on something, and it would be demon resistant.
This
plus
feels
one
like
demon protection.
I'm looking at the sample creations, and anything anti-ghost feels closer to potentially arcane. Though I could be, it's you are the one who decides that. But like, I'm looking at alchemical, and most of them are, with the only exception being the spark. All the others are semi-natural or preternatural, but the arcane ones are things that are specifically.
It's also Quicksilver is a specifically supernatural because it's plus one to attune.
That's true.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just like the opposite of Quicksilver.
This feels like it's basically you take what you already have for your foam for making things anathema to ghosts and making a improved version of that, like a coating.
One that holds up better.
Yeah. So looking at it now, I could see either a chemical or arcane.
Well, chemical works because you have the thing for that.
Yeah.
I think is what we're trying to make it.
If it was stuff that was pro-ghost, it would have to be arcane, but if it's specifically like more resistant to ghosts, yeah, alchemical can work.
Okay.
I think this
works
is
for me.
This is tier 4 in terms of what's the minimum quality levels will be for. Looking at with the magnitude of the effects the item produces a guideline. I was actually doing it in a reverse Quicksilver, which is also.
Right now, I'm just naming the clock anti-demon juice.
Yeah.
Well, we need to tier up before we can even hit that level.
I can spend money to hit that level when I craft it.
This isn't for crafting. This is for figuring out how to craft.
Cheers for crafting.
Yeah,
so,
and I think this will last for this will last for a few hours when you use it.
Okay.
Looking at everything here. And then I ask you, what rare, strange, or adverse aspect of this formula or design has, until now, kept it in obscurity or out of common usage?
Oh, man. I have a good one, but it screws us so bad. What keeps it out of common usage? Since it's tier 4, I think it's prohibitively expensive to make.
Okay.
Like it's not cost effective for even the spirit wardens to make this stuff.
That's why the guards don't wear it 24/7.
Yeah.
They got a set of these. They have like one.
Well, you're doing armor. This is a spray, so it is a different thing now.
Yeah.
That's why it
it's
hasn't
just
been
based
done
on the
before.
theory of the copper armor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's probably
that's why it hasn't been done before, because an armor is super expensive, but a spray would be cheaper and easier.
But I'm saying like the materials used to make this are either rare or very expensive.
Yeah. What rare, strange, or adverse aspect of the formula? So yeah, maybe rare materials makes sense then. Specific, probably something that is only found in the Deathlands. You're the one answering, so you are telling me. This doesn't mean you have to go into the Deathlands. You can buy it from factions in the Deathlands or something.
Yeah, we can talk to the scavengers and get it. But yeah, I think it's the materials have to be outsourced outside of civilization, let's say.
All right. The next question that you would ask me: what drawbacks does this item have, if any? I choose one or more from the drawbacks list, or by saying there are none. So there is a list somewhere.
At the bottom of the sheet.
Yep. So, complex, conspicuous.
Okay. Oh, rare is a drawback.
Okay, well, rare is one of them. We already mentioned that. It requires a rare item or material when it is crafted. So you'll need to, like, get that thing to craft it each time you make it.
I think the easiest is probably rare consumable. Like you have
Rare
to refill
consumable.
the juice.
I mean, all alchemicals must, so it has consumable by default.
Yes.
That seems like a fair, like 2 drawbacks there seems reasonable to me.
There are actually 2 more. One is you can craft an anti-ghost version and an anti-demon version, but they are separate ones. And the other one is the consequence that is you can resist it, the volatile, a specific side effect, while it is on a person and affects that person or what's on something they're wearing, they can't attune. It blocks it both ways.
I have a counter. What if instead of volatile, it's conspicuous? Like my electroplasmic ammo, it's gonna draw heat.
I think
How
I
would
like
this draw
volatile
heat?
more. I think I like
Okay.
volatile more because this is sort of opposite. This is something that's a dampener in a way.
Yeah.
The troublesome
Yeah.
side effect is you can't attune to ghosts.
You can't attune to the ghost field while doing it at all. And yeah, use this one either ghost.
Maybe you. No, that would be.
Side effects can be resisted, so when it comes
Wondering
up,
if-
it
Correct.
comes.
You can resist that
Yeah.
when you use it on a case by case basis. Oh, I think we might be losing Zen.
Okay. Or
There we go.
I think I'm lagging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What were you saying about the consequences?
Nothing. We're good.
'Kay.
We're good. I was gonna suggest something worse, but I'm fine.
Yeah, I did say 4 consequences, but most of those consequences I think were kind of already there.
Yeah.
The only big ones are either spirit or demon can't can't attune.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, and that is
Cool.
that.
Works for me. So now I actually have to hit the study button, right?
Yes, for the downtime.
And we have the
This
library or
doesn't
whatever,
matter.
right?
The
Yes,
workshop. Does that help?
Ooh,
Might
that's
help.
Like,
No, the
Workshop,
workshop
I think
gives
so.
us
That's
Place
for
to do it.
crafting. That
not
allows me to
inventing.
tier up crafting.
All right.
Yeah.
As
And
well as a
then-
small library of books and documents.
Yeah, because if
Uh,
we were
pictorial
arguing,
positioning, so otherwise you have to go to the university or something to do this.
Yep. My next question is I forgot. Oh, alchemist.
It's-
Does that affect
you may
inventing too?
accomplish.
It's right there.
Perfect.
Oh, there it is.
Craft a creation with alchemical features. Yeah, inventor craft. We're good.
Excellent.
All right. Position doesn't matter. Effect
+1
doesn't
die.
matter. +1.
And the workshop is a long-term project, so isn't this a long-term project?
Yes, he's working on it.
It just gives him the fictional positioning of he stays in the lair rather than let me go risk looking this up in the library.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a
The one-
devil's bargain?
Hang on. Did you say +1 die?
Because Hicks is there helping you.
Oh, that's right. Forgot
Yep.
about that.
I'm using it for my stress indulgence because I am backseat inventing.
Well, you would also get a die then because Deckard's there.
Yeah, you'll both get dice from your own rolls. But Hicks hasn't done his yet.
Yep.
Ryan, do you want a devil's bargain?
I'll hear one. I'll always hear one.
All right. You guys really hate the Spirit Wardens when the Union is connected to Satara, don't you? I'm still going to throw it at you.
Where is that?
At the bottom right of the sheet.
Oh.
Yeah.
We just don't need
it's
more.
a 4 o'clock that's empty. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm hesitant to start filling it because as a consequence, it could be filled in one roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
And
we
right
want that
now our
as empty as
enemy
possible.
is
Okay.
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, I'm
I could-
good with 2 dice.
All right.
We can just roll it. Moving on. That's a
Okay,
5.
which is upgraded to as if you rolled a 6 because of your +1 result level. So
Yep.
that's 3 ticks.
Woohoo. Work begins.
Nice. And Hicks, you are
Drink it.
nice.
While this is happening, I'm just in the room.
At drink.
You go, you know what would be cool? Demon spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Demon be gone. Just start advertising it like a bug spray.
And like,
Sell it to the
I-
spirit wardens. I don't know.
with our history together, I think this is a common thing with Hicks and I. Like he's in the back drinking while I'm working on a thing. So like there are canned responses that always apply to whatever Hicks is saying.
Yes, I get it.
It's like playing Fallout 76. You just hit a button.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have? Wait, who hasn't done their first
it's
downtime
Adric.
action?
Adric
That
has
was
not
the
done their
first two.
first.
I
yeah.
still got a couple downtime actions, yeah. I think the first one I'm going to do is take out a little bit of frustration and reduce our heat by killing off anyone who may have been left alive.
Just gonna go around murdering anyone
So,
from
like,
Wolfgang.
the last of Wolfgang.
Let me go and kidnap my spirit warden.
Okay.
Or rather, you talked sense into me, so
Oh,
fine.
God. It fits. I'm not arguing against it. It's just wow.
Now, the bill hooks are not vulnerable, but they were also much less connected to you. But yes, there are a few people from Wolfgang who are like sick or busy or doing other things or too low ranking or not fighters.
Or got injured but not
And
killed.
yeah, I am specifically targeting your old skiing at this
Yeah.
point.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Would it count as me helping if my bird just went?
It's de-stress. It's a stress roll.
This
Not
is
my
not a
bird-
stress roll for me, surprisingly. I
Let's reduce
actually am
each.
only at 4 stress still, so I can't do it because I need more stress.
How
When
did
you
not
could,
get more-
yeah.
Yeah, safely.
Oh, it's a heat reduction roll.
So you go
gotta
on a
pick-
bender. Like
You just go on a murder spree.
My
Don't worry
penders
about
are
it.
murder
listen, the last time I overindulged my dead wife came back. That's perfectly fine. You've seen how this works.
It's going swimmingly, and she
And
came
now
back
we're
and now
two
she's
good
not
rolls
there.
away from a vampire cohort.
However, reducing heat is still probably a better call than
Yeah.
reducing my stress right now. I'll just go into the
Fine.
next mission
Well-
rather stressed.
You get an additional die if a friend helps you, right?
Yes,
Is my
But this
bird a
is kind
friend?
of dark work for the
Right, but
Phoenix.
my
you would
bird-
be a
But
friend.
bird
I don't know
alone
if your
means that
bird would be.
The bodies aren't tied back to us.
That's true.
The
But
bird
my
going along
point
with
is for the bonus, you kind of need to be involved as the Phoenix because cohorts don't give a bonus like that.
Yes.
Well, a cohort could be like if the gang went with him, right?
The gang
Yeah,
doesn't count as
but
a
the
friend.
principled and loyal gang aren't going to go on
Right.
murder cleanup.
True.
But what I'm saying is my bird specifically is like our fictional positioning of why we could kill people and not gain heat. So that's why the bird goes.
Oh, I'm not saying no to the bird going. I'm just saying I don't know if it gives the extra health die.
Narratively, I think the bird going is fine, but yeah, mechanically, I don't think it does much.
It'll be fine. It just won't give a +1 die. But also, yeah,
That's
you're
fair.
keeping an eye on Adric again.
Yeah.
Does Adric notice, or are you trying to hide it? And I just leave that between
Notice
you
the
two?
bird? No, I'm not trying to hide it.
Is the bird
Oh.
trying to hide from you, is what I mean.
No. The bird's just flying around.
Cool.
So that
I'm just
noticing
mopping
is
up.
up to Adric.
Yep.
How single-minded are you?
It's not even so much a matter of single-minded. Right now, I don't care.
Cool. Okay, let's roll to reduce heat by, I think you're prowling around the streets because they're in hiding because...
Rolling to reduce heat by murder.
It's the most effective way to do it. Is there...
That's fair.
All loose ends
That's-
must be cut off.
What was the main character's name in American Psycho? Like, I think you've been looking for a code name.
You're asking
Okay,
for Devil's
so-
Bargain?
Position and effect don't matter, so it's
No,
just
they don't.
dice.
What, do you want a Devil's Bargain?
Sure.
Level 3 harm.
heat. No, Mercy finds Adric, final tick.
Ooh.
I am waiting
Covered
for
in
this.
blood in an
Let's
alley.
do it.
Cool.
I don't know the voice.
Wait. Did you tick it?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, everything's
All right.
exploding. That's what it was, Bateman. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I can't roll right now, but alright.
Oh, God.
Five is good.
That's 2 heat down, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, 2
It's
heat.
2 heat down. So you're like, where have you killed the last person you need to kill?
Well, it's Ulf's gang, so it's all still in Crow's.
Well, it's
Foot.
in
Or wait, not Crow's Foot. That's the docks.
it's in
Charhollow.
Charharlow and some
Charhollow.
actually in Coleridge, or as 2 main things. So you might have had to track some people over to Coleridge.
Okay. If that's the case, then probably Charhollow's the Scav area, so let's stick in that area for a bit. That'll probably be the last area.
Okay.
If anybody finds me, I can just be like, I'm a noble. You don't know.
Okay. Awesome.
Noble business.
So you have the body of the last of Ulf's gang lays at your feet, and then of course from behind you just hear like, well done. You know, and you turn, there's a woman who's there. She's dressed in like, she is dressed like one of you. She's not dressed like an officer or an interior military person. She's dressed like a criminal with she's dressed like the thief armor from Skyrim, like just brown leather and like a hood that's currently down and stuff like that. So she's just like, yeah, well done. You know, I had heard a lot about you, Adric Karstus, but I sincerely thought you wouldn't live up to your reputation. I'm impressed. Mercy. And she, like, gives you a bow.
You seem to know who I am. Are you looking to add to my reputation?
Yes and no. She like pauses for a second, and there's like a small change of expression in her face.
I attack.
You attack?
This
All
sounds
right.
useful.
Cool.
Hey, I'm going for surprise. This is the correct answer.
Mm-hmm. She is not surprised.
Oh, come on.
She,
I tried.
She's not surprised.
Not that
Is
I'm
this a
not interested
long-term
in
project? Murder Mercy?
I think she dodges your first attack. That like she's strong. She's important enough to have like one of those special ability things. For her, that won't be an offensive thing. That'll just be she dodges the first one, like without like kind of sidesteps and like whoop. Watch yourself. She had, but out of nowhere, she has like a knife that's not the same, but like it's kind of similar to yours in one hand. Kind of flips it once or twice, and it's like kind of backing up, but still smiling and confident. She's like, "You sure you want to do this?"
I'm curious. Thoughts,
Could I
sir?
flashback to being nearby?
Yes, you're not in a score, but you can still flashback. I think this would be one stress.
Is
That
this
is
this
good.
flashback or not just can you be nearby?
Well, we had already established that the bird was following, not
Yeah,
Zaid.
Not me
It's
specifically.
important that Zaid gets there sooner.
Is now on though sooner, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can be nearby. You can tell me when you show up. And she says, "I'm not here to fight you unless you wanna."
Then what are you here for? And I'm still ready.
Yeah, you have your knife ready, and she's just like tossing. I have an offer, if you want to hear it. You see,
Offer?
I've been keeping an eye on you, and she's like gesturing as she talks with her knife. I think that your crew kind of holding you back. You know, with the whole like don't kill anyone thing, and with the whole, you know what they did earlier today. I saw that. They talked you out of something that could have gone mwah. You come work with me, you won't have that kind of red tape. You will just be able to cut right through it. I know what you're capable of. You're not a normal person, and that's good. You're better than normal. I appreciate talent. I'm putting together a bit of a team, is what she says. And, I'd like you to be on it.
What's in it for me? Aside from the red tape.
Lack of. Hey, comfort. Oh, also your parents would love to see you. Nothing bad's going to happen to them if you refuse. It's just going to stay the same. That's fine. But I figured, you might want to talk to them. We can get you access. Me and the people we work for. And yes, Zen, what you said in chat is basically correct.
In the
I don't think she's going to answer right now, or she doesn't expect an answer right now. If you pause, she says, "You know what? Think about it. Let me know. God, here's a card." And she throws it's not like a razor card. She just throws a card on the ground between you two. And it's like a business card.
what I'm trying to find the words to is just a matter of what is it that you're not telling me?
Do you just say that, or you
yeah,
you
I guess so.
her?
I find that's good enough words for me.
You could also study her if you don't want to ask her that.
I've got no dice in study. That sounds like a great idea.
It's up to you. So you just ask her and see what she says?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Atric. You're missing the fun in all this. If I just tell you, what's there left to discover? She just with that backs away and disappears. Or will leave.
Did she notice the sniper glint in the distance or no?
If she did,
she didn't make it noticeable.
She didn't look in it in your eye or anything like that. She just leaves after that.
Okay.
He is going to pick up the card and kind of hide it away somewhere, take a look at it, try and figure it out, and then tuck it away for later.
It says mercy. And what it says is, it says where to find her. And it's different than, if you had heard about her before, it's different than where you thought that she was, up in... I think there's a barracks up in Night Market and Gaddock Rail Station that you heard she was in. Now it's not that. Where are we? Here we go. It currently says Lord Governor's Stronghold. They're expecting you. That's it.
Placement. All right. I'll tuck that away, but that's not a decision that should be made right now, and even I know that.
Yeah.
Does Mercy have a last name?
Doesn't say it on the card.
Was it Nary?
No, she's it's just Mercy. It's just Mercy for her. I doubt that's her original name, but that's what she goes by now.
Is it one of those ironic names like a big guy named Tiny?
I mean, the book has her named.
I trust this negative contact Mercy?
Yeah, the book has her named as Mercy, a Cold Killer, so the book already has that negative ironic name built in. That's the scene. Yeah, and of course, Phoenix, you witness all of this.
Yeah. Probably
known. I probably don't know you witnessed it.
No, I don't want you to know I witnessed it. So the bird stays. It's not trying to hide, but it's not necessarily hey, I'm here.
Bird's doing the same thing it's been doing the whole time, pointing out the bodies. Yeah. I may have noticed it. Do I care? No.
Yeah. But I think just on if there's the alley here, there's a rooftop way back here that was facing Mercy, and he just looks away from his scope and goes fuck. and then just like continues to tail Adric.
Okay.
Well,
Well, yeah, that's
I
the
think-
last killing. So
Yeah, I
assume
think
Adric
this
gets
will
back.
probably roll into my second downtime, which would be while I'm tailing Adric, let's look for a vampire sister.
All right, you want to track her down? Hey,
Yeah.
this will be a long-term project.
hmm
Tracker down's a long-term project.
Yes, yes, it
Okay.
will be.
Finding a vampire? Yeah.
I didn't think she disappeared as much as she apparently did.
No, she did.
Yeah,
see
I
this
think this
now.
will be an 8 o'clock. However, you have a bonus to specifically tracking the supernatural. So
Yes. Imbued with spirit energy gains potency when tracking or fighting the supernatural.
yes, so I think that we can treat result levels for you as one higher than normal for this.
Okay.
Like you're tracking a supernatural, you have potency on this, and normally that's
Cool.
better for long term. But it's your sister, and you can track her. Just if other people
Fine.
work on the long term project, they wouldn't get that. So we'll keep it as an 8 o'clock.
Okay. So I assume that's just going to be hunt.
Yep, sounds good. You're just like, yeah, looking over rooftops, sniffing for her spiritual scent.
Yeah. Does position effect matter?
Not for this. Nope.
No.
It's just
Okay.
number of ticks.
You know
if
what?
You want...
Devil's bargain.
Yes.
Let's have Costa hit me up.
Cool. All right, we're
Let's
having
do it.
every clock is filling.
We're
But
not
you're
going to do
in.
a score for
are-
3 more episodes.
Actually, I asked you, are you in the Phoenix getup right now? Because if the show, she's not going to hit you up right now because she doesn't know you're the Phoenix.
No, he's in the Phoenix setup right now because this is like as
As
Adric
the
is
Phoenix.
murdering people, I'm looking for my sister.
Okay, cool. So if she doesn't hit you up literally immediately because
Yeah. It'll be later. She'll be like, I heard you work for these people, so I came here.
Yep. All right. Cool.
All right. Ooh.
Okay. That's +1, so it's 2 ticks instead of 1.
Okay.
So I think you still get like the scent of her, but it's something. It's old. You probably go to night market where she showed up. Oh, you weren't told about that, were you?
I went with her to Skurlock.
Yes, but you never went with you.
No, I
Brian
didn't
hadn't
know
told
she
you
went.
about
to
that. So I think that's what you do. You track her to night market right now is what you do, and you see her at the Devil's Tooth. That's where her scent is.
So you
And then-
learned 2 things about grind today.
Yep.
So I know she went to the Devil's Tooth. I know Grind's friend works at the Devil's Tooth.
And you know
Yes.
you're not
Work.
welcome there anymore.
And if you
I never went. I never went there
Oh,
you were the only one who didn't go.
because
Yeah.
I went to
Okay.
my Physiker friend.
If you ask about Grind's friend, maybe you heard her name, even if you haven't met her. She no longer works there, and it's said with like, "Don't ask why, please don't ask why."
He's just gonna go. Why? She was so nice.
I think this is as part of the role. They basically tell you what happened. Like this woman came in and started tearing the place apart. Like she's apparently slept with a customer who was married, and there's a whole thing. I
So-
wasn't there myself, says this person. They're like new. They were hired after
Yeah,
this whole thing, and they just heard all the hearsay. And
Yeah,
they're like,
so-
don't tell anyone why this. Of course, she is telling it.
Since I went with her to get her vampire body, do I know what she looks like?
You do.
Okay, so I have connected the dots.
Yes, yeah. You know that it was definitely Sierra and Stasia, and a man
And
that
Grind.
Stasia slept with that Sierra was angry about.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's gonna be a fun free play scene.
I can
Yeah.
just, there's just like the mental sound of a boiling kettle, just like steam.
Yeah, and grind is the frog in that water as it continually heats up. Just not noticing until it gets real bad.
Yeah.
I forget. It's like a common movie thing where, like, as the character gets more insane, I think like it gets like more deaf, right? So it's like at this point, it's almost like a high pitched whine that's just happening. Like the person's like, "Oh, well, then the first person." It's like just that, and he goes, okay, yeah." Like,
Great. That's perfect. Cool. So yeah, you would need to continue tracking her. You lost her scent right now off of Night Market. You probably have to search the whole district at another time.
Yeah, could catch it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Play
Cool.
one of those free play scenes because we've got 2 and they tend to kind of lose steam over the breaks.
True.
They
yeah.
do.
So what
Yeah,
one do you
so-
want to play? We should
who
also
had a
finish
free play
downtime
first?
though first, maybe. Not necessarily first, but we only have 20 minutes left. So
Mhm.
who wants to go next?
I don't know. My next downtime is pretty simple, so I can just do that. I'm following up on my goddamn secret tunnels. I have my maps out. I put my exploring hat on. I'm going and I'm walking the tunnels to do. Like I have all my disparate maps, but I'm now walking through with the paths I do know to confirm. I'm doing the double check.
Okay, that is great. I'm checking one thing. I think I let's make that roll. You only need 2
I want to know
checks.
who currently controls them.
Yep.
So we can start working on that problem.
Okay.
I don't know what to roll. Is it study or survey?
You're going out and looking, so I think it's survey.
Yeah, it's survey. It's downtime, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Do you want Devil's
No.
Bargain or another tick on the free semester?
Yep, deal.
Okay.
Bonus die 1. Submit. I get a 6.
Nice. You fill it.
I'm best.
So I think you find out, maybe you run into them, that I think they're not exactly friendly to you, but you aren't enemies right now. The Wraiths are the ones who control these kind of surface secret tunnels. That is not, they're like deeper ones further in, like the 1,000-year-old city has some very deep tunnels. But the ones that actually lead to the rest of the city and the ones that are mostly used, the Wraiths tend to control them and use them.
Yeah, I want to know, are these secret tunnels built for 2 lovers separated from one another? I'll take level 3 harm
You did
for
it.
that.
You broke the GM. Thanks. We're
Made GM face palm. Level 3 harm. Need help.
Alright. The secret tunnels are in Wraith control right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, what does that put us at? Do they
Underworld
like us?
tier
Yeah,
2.
we're
Curious
indifferent.
crew, thieves, and spies. Okay.
Oh.
So the closest thing to like shadows, basically, that you guys.
Oh, I was-
there are.
I
So-
confused the race with the organized ghosts.
Oh, the reconciled.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
No, the Wraiths are just like a gang of spies and shadows that are slightly higher tier than you. So it's like very much in reach.
We just need to go one big beat 'em up, and we got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or diplomacy.
I'm good with
Does
these.
that work?
Brian, what do you do next for your downtime?
Well, I honestly don't know. I mean, I've got 4 stress. I don't want to overindulge.
You could work on your
Well,
project again if you want to.
I could
If you
do
don't
that.
indulge your vice, doesn't it go up by 1? Or your
Only if
stress
you have
score?
trauma.
You could also reduce heat
Yeah.
further because I think
That's why I was
heat is
trying to get
down
my
from
stress up.
5 to 3, so you could bring it down further if you wanted to.
Oh, the reduce heat thing. Yeah, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You could reduce
Because the only
heat.
time you'll over reduce it is if you roll a crit.
I'm trying to think, what other things are there that we can
I
do?
mean, actually, you know what? Let me save
Sure.
my downtime and the plus downtime till we know what the next job is, because we need setups.
Yep.
We need,
Yeah.
That's true. Good idea.
Truth.
And if we want to take over stuff in Crowsfoot, we'll get an extra downtime on our turf.
Yeah.
And if we want more coin, we can use a saboteur. Okay, make sure that we have the ability to get this. Because
Yeah.
we're-
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
So-
next job is out of supply, but it's probably we don't know what exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll save my 2 for that.
Okay.
So I've
yeah,
got
we'll
one
figure
more.
that out. But
I've got
you
one
had
more
some-
down.
Did you have free time stuff you wanted to do? before?
I have one more downtime, and I need to pay off the gondoliers in free play, but neither of these are emotionally charged things, and we've got 2 emotionally charged things sitting on the table. So
I was saying, let's do those. Like, if we got a couple
Okay,
like free
just
play
keep in
scenes,
mind what we
we
want to
can
do.
do
So,
mechanical downtimes later.
I just
The
didn't want to
gondoliers
forget how many we had, but yeah, if we're all good, then
kind of got paid off as far as the like needing the protection. We more or less sorted that.
you did.
Yeah.
You said it would be later that day, and it was, and yeah, no, that has been sorted.
So I've got one thing with Adric's sister that we could possibly use to get her out of her funk.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I think she was going to do something, so we can merge that. Do you just go visit her room?
Yeah, I'm gonna call a friend of mine. His name is Veldrin. Have him come over, and I'm gonna grab Adric and introduce them. This is a person that can help your sister reconcile what has happened, and perhaps shock her back into reality.
Nods.
Yeah, and we'll go up to her room. That whole treating her with kid gloves, very, very cautiously, like this is Veldrin, he's a friend, and Veldrin has a case with him. Veldrin's a psychonaut. He uses hallucinogenic substances to get to spiritual awakenings and such.
That's great.
Balls to make you feel better.
I think Cass and Sisters come in when you knock.
So she's not catatonic. I thought she was
no,
just
she is
out.
not actually catatonic.
Okay.
She was just shooken for that day.
Okay.
She is writing, like in a journal or book or something. And she stops, of course, and closes it. Puts it away.
Patrick will just come in and by the wall, arms crossed and whatnot.
Keslin, I have been through some difficult times, and this man has helped me through them to realize some truths about my life. If you would like to partake in a little ritual, you may come to truths for yourself.
Why do you want... Why?
Because I saw the look on your face when we were when we were on the boat leaving, the scene. I've been there. I know that face. And if I can do anything to alleviate that, I think it will only do good.
Why did you save me? Adric?
Partly because Edric is a compatriot, partly because you are not... You stood out when you were here with Ulf. You were not like them. You have use, you have value.
Excuse me?
You have value as a person.
You just said they don't. You said I'm unlike them. No, I was...
Yeah,
she stands up. No, I was just like them. I was just like them. And she doesn't know where she's going to. She doesn't know what she's going to say after this. She just kind of stops after saying that. Like, she doesn't have a point to make, really. She hasn't planned any of this.
Caslin, as an observer, as an outsider, I beg to disagree. And I hate to point this out, but your lineage dictates that you are nothing like them. You should not be in the gutters with the rest. You should be above. You should be at the helm. And this is half directed toward Caslin, but at Adric. right?
Like Adric, are you listening to this? Listen to what I'm telling this other person. Okay.
Proletariat revolution. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's thinking. Is like she looks like what you said just makes her angry.
Good.
And
Jim, I want you to be angry. There's a lot in this world that needs to change. And that anger will drive you. Change it. You may not like me, you may not like my opinions. I've been around a while, I've seen what happens to Scovs. It's to stop. And Ulf wouldn't get you there. He would never be accepted by any of the establishment. He would be gunned down in the street before he even got close. This change comes from the people, not from violence.
you can tell that she's not sure if she wants to start attacking you, leave, or listen. Do you want to make a roll, or do you want to continue talking and then make the roll?
It's going to be a terrible roll, but I'll make it because I can't really come up with more points than that.
Okay. Cool. Let's roll to sway.
Yeah, let's roll this way. Desperate because she's going to cut my throat if I fuck it up. Oh. No, what are you thinking position-wise? Risky? Desperate?
Risky. She isn't necessarily going to cut your throat, but she might punch you really hard. So risky. If at worst it'll be level 2 harm.
Okay. Effect. Standard, probably. Could cut out in any way.
I think it will be limited. It will be like she'll think about what you're saying, but you can't get her to agree with what you're saying immediately.
Fair.
Adric, I assume you're not helping?
Actively want to go this in a different way.
Cool.
All right. 1 die. It's a failure.
Cool. Okay.
It didn't work.
She punches you in the face. You take level 2 harm. Like
I have a knife out at her.
Yeah, and she says, "Don't you dare speak badly about Ulf or any of them." She seems to, maybe she doesn't even know your knife is there. She's like just standing there like yelling. They all died due to some freaking sea demons. Or like she doesn't even say sea demons, she says like demons. Never should have quit Leviathan hunting. They were all heroes. They all did what you couldn't. You're selling bombs to them. They're the one, you are in the background. You, and she like points right past your knife at you, Adric, are just keeping yourself safe while you sell your bombs and make your money. You're not the ones actually making change. It's people like Ulf. And then she starts like naming several other people who presumably died alongside Ulf. Who they are the ones who demand and do not take no for an answer. That we, as Scovlanders, as people, and she like probably says like in Scovlandic language, the name for Scovlanders, like not just in Prosian, that we are taken seriously as equals. Ulf was angry. Ulf was violent. Ulf
was a crying baby.
Flawed.
Ulf didn't do anything. Do you think if he won, let's say he took over Duskfall, what does the Empire do? They come in and kill us all. You need to grow the fuck
up. You think there's no point in this? You think there's no point in fighting for equality because we'll just lose? So we shouldn't even try?
No, you plan, you plot, you get power. You put your power against the other power.
Will you both just shut up?
That was great.
I'm imagining there's
What do you?
these are all
No,
conversations
Grind's going off at this point. What do you think the money is for? You think we just sell bombs and sow discord around this entire city? No, we are planning.
second
We are
night time, then,
building.
if you're not
We
gonna
are.
Patrick, you said you're doing a thing while he's talking?
No, I'm
Okay.
going to grab a second knife. I'm going to attempt to threaten both of them.
Now,
So Patrick's just
You don't
between
agree-
you two, between like, Castellan and Grinders are yelling at each other with knives. Cool. Continue.
It's like, this argument is not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Caslin, what do you want to do?
she wants to sit here and pity herself and have
Screw
failed
you.
revolution. I leave.
Okay. Awesome. She
Sorry.
was about to leave herself, so she doesn't. And she's like... And she looks at you, Adric. Thanks for saving me.
Down at knife. I didn't save you. I had nothing to do with that. I don't care. You made your choice to be there. What happened to you was up to you.
She slaps you in the face. She says, "Don't you dare talk to your sister like that. But you didn't even care if I died? Is that true? You don't even care. I was eaten by demons. Is there nothing left in you that's human, that cares, that loves, feels? Are you just... I was going to say a machine, but no. No, you're an animal. At least that's what it seems." She pauses intentionally to give you a chance to respond.
For now, this is my crew. Do not threaten it. You asked me to make a choice.
You asked me first.
You ask me if I care? You already know the answer. Don't push this.
I don't know the answer, Adric. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. And in her eyes, you can see there's just like some spark of something in her is just extinguished there. I'm leaving.
We'll shrug and pull back and let her at the door.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
She, within 5 minutes, she has packed up. Like, she didn't even have that much stuff with her. She had whatever she happened to have on her. So in 2 minutes, she's gone. She just walks out the door.
I know we're close to time, but I want to set up the next scene with me and Grind. So
Okay.
I like to imagine the camera like it cuts to Grind leaving that room. Would you go into your room, perchance?
Yeah, probably. And like throw a couple of things around because Grind just lost his cool and he's not okay with that.
Mhm.
So
As you open the door, Zayd is in there, like probably on your bed, just cleaning his guns. And you walk in and he goes, "Oh, Grind, I've been meaning to talk to you. Take a seat."
Zayd, it's been a day.
It has.
Perhaps we could do this later. I am not.
No, we're doing this now. Credits.
Very well. And like slams down a chair.
Okay. Excellent. Let's do the end of session XP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Okay.
So, did we
Fusewright.
Fusewrights Union?
Did we acquire product supply, execute clandestine or covert sales to secure new territory? No.
We technically acquired supply.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, we did acquire a product
You
supply.
did acquire your
too.
own product supply back after you sold it to Ulf and then killed him.
It's
So,
technically correct.
I can see one
Technically
extent.
correct.
Okay, one for that.
One.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say 2, but 1.
Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yes.
A
Yes.
couple.
Yeah. How much
I
for
would
that
say-
though? 1 or 2?
2.
I'd say 2. Spirit Wardens, the Ulf's technically was above us.
We didn't really contend with the Spirit Wardens though. Like there was nothing.
rolled
No,
again.
you didn't. It was. That's correct. You didn't need to.
We
contend
rolled
with them.
against
So the
Spirit Warden.
prison for 1 for sure, and
Yeah.
Ulf for 2.
You did that last session.
Elf is
So by setting up with the demons, I think.
Mm.
You know what? Actually, 2, because Grine literally waded into the valley of bloody chainsaws.
Yeah.
to an ungrateful bitch. Oh.
Listen, I'm gonna smooth things over with her later. It'll be a great.
Oh, wonderful.
All right.
Okay, bolster reputation or develop a new one.
At least 1.
At least one.
So
It's
you
driven
guys,
and
remember,
explosive.
you guys kept pretty quiet about this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Not
say. Like
fully quiet,
we
but
didn't.
pretty quiet. But
at least one for
I
driven.
think I'm gonna get a new reputation, and that's entirely for Grine's association with the Heartcom. Now I think we'll just call it association with Heartcom. We'll leave it vague as to how people react to that. It's not going to be well, but how badly is up to you guys.
Well, Driven.
God, I'm gonna have
is
to
in-
make some public apology on Twitter, and
You're probably going to start getting death threats.
I mean, if currently if someone, all right, it's weird to say this in the current climate. Hypothetically, if someone was to create a bioweapon that killed a swath of people, even if they didn't deploy it, I would expect a public apology after the bioweapon was deployed.
Yes.
I think it all
because of
depends
the
on how the
bioweapon.
scene goes.
yeah, I'm gonna have
Okay.
to. I'm gonna have to spin that one more than Fox News ever spun anything.
All right. So, yes, there's a new reputation there for sure, and I think between that and the existing stuff with Castellan and Mercy, I can see 2.
I see
Okay.
2 for the goals, drives, and inner conflicts.
Yes.
Yes,
There
that's
was
also
shouting
true.
at the end if we're
Okay, so
unsure.
there's 2 there.
There were
Also,
people
our
keeping
goals
eyes
of,
on each
you know,
other.
It's just our burning wheel coming out. Like if we
It's-
ended
I think
this
that's
with an
exactly what it
intact
is.
crew, I don't know.
I can
how.
see
Burning
this.
Wheel was the perfect game
This
to play
Titanic
before.
is reaching its iceberg very shortly.
Yeah.
Is what I
Is
think.
it?
We're only
Just-
tier 1 and we're reaching the iceberg.
So it was 1 from acquire, or 1 from the first one, 2 for the second,
2 for the third.
2 for the third, and 2 for the
And
fourth.
2 for the last one. Yeah, for sure.
So it's 2, 4, 6, 7 total, and that's ding plus 1.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
any hot
So-
takes on what we're spending it on? Any hot
That-
takes?
That veteran
The-
action that allows us to like merge our crews.
Yeah, the co-op action thing. Yeah,
That becomes increasingly useful
Yeah.
the more
I
dots
Do you
believe
think
it's
the co-op
on-
action, or is it? Or all right, sure, whatever.
yeah, I think
I don't
the
have
co-op.
I don't have a. My only other suggestion is Ulf Spark. Those are my 2 suggestions.
Is that a
co-op
special
action-
ability?
Could be
Vice
Vice
Den?
Den.
You can't get that as an advance. You can't get the layer stuff as an advance.
Can't take these as advances.
No, those have to be from jobs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go.
We could get a carriage.
well, that's what happens when rep goes up, right? We get
Yeah.
another turf.
We get the stuff in there. Wait, didn't our rep
Does it?
went up?
But it put us to strong. When you were weak, your first rep fold over
Oh,
goes to
and
strong.
then the next one will
And
be
then-
somewhere in there.
Oh, tier goes up with rep, right?
Tier goes
I'm-
up with rep, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the only way to increase the layer map thing and get the stuff on there are jobs, I believe.
Okay.
Anyhow, we can figure that out next time for sure. But
With that
probably-
special power, that ghost market, we can make if we have something there. There's plenty
Yeah.
of stuff.
I think the teamwork thing, because we rolled multiple 6s on teamwork before, and it'd be great to have
Yeah.
that crit.
And we're getting up to the point where we can put 7+ dice in a roll, which means that getting a crit is actually more. There's better
It's very
odds of that
likely.
than anything else.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're falling
The
apart
numbers-
as a team, but our teamwork.
Yeah, but
teamwork
when
is
we work
great.
together, it's better. So we're in. It's like
numbers games. You're right.
it's
Also,
the Avengers, like mid of the movie, where everyone's fighting, but when they work together, it's great.
Yeah, just throwing it out there for. This is also a good one we have access to that doesn't include a veteran advance.
Mm.
That is true.
You guys haven't been dealing a lot with the nobility, in all honesty.
We could honestly.
Yeah,
this
but
one
if we
might be
take
better.
this, we will.
True.
I don't like hooked. I don't like hooked.
Well, our gang members use our bombs, add savage, unreliable, or wild to make them savage, because bombs, and then add
I don't
plus
like
one to their quality.
hooked. I don't like it.
Let's decide over the break.
Let's
Yeah,
decide
yeah,
on the
we'll
break.
hash it out.
I'm just spitballing ideas. Like, I'm not
Alright.
trying to say, like, this is what we should take. I'm just trying to spitball ideas.
Alright.
So we have some idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I think let's start with the last person who spoke, which is, I think, the Phoenix. Could be wrong with that.
I think it was Zen,
All right.
because Zen said okay, and then sat down the chair.
All right. Brian, you
Yep.
expressed a lot of things this session.
Mm. Yep. Addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. I think I got 2 there.
Yep.
For the wrecking in the boat.
Yep.
And all that shit. Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think that last scene,
Yeah!
I hope, counts as 2.
Yeah! Getting in a shouting match despite being threatened with knives. Yeah!
And it was about like philosophy too. Like
Yeah.
you guys should be leading.
Yeah. And then also,
Such
like,
a
you
gripe.
saved Caslin, which you weren't asked to do. That was your own thing as
Yep.
well.
And vice or trauma, not really. So
Yeah, none of that's related to any of the stuff that happened, is it? Your vice?
No.
Okay.
not really. No.
Phoenix. saved.
That's an advance for me though.
Nice.
Okay, I'll figure that out.
Addressed a challenge with tracking or violence. I believe dose
Yep.
double tracking.
Mhm.
Beliefs, drive, heritage, or background. A dose.
Which ones?
I believe like the drive, or either a belief or a drive. I haven't hashed it out, but like keeping an eye on Adric is something I like promised Castellan I would do,
That's
and
true.
I did
You
it.
did that the whole time.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I see the
But
second one.
the reason why he didn't shoot Mercy is because he can hear through the bird, and he wants Adric to make his own decisions. He was just there to like, yo, if she gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill her first.
There.
So I believe that's a dose.
Alright.
Struggled with issues from your vice or trauma during the session. I'm gonna say just one for haunted, which is why sort of like the slow roll of like, oh, maybe Grind might be involved in her comedy. Yeah, I'll talk to him about it. Oh, he did what with her? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna come to a head. I'll probably get 2 for it next session, but I think at least 1, because that's why he was in your room with a gun and not just in your room.
That makes sense. Cool.
So that's ding +1, and I'll put the +1. So I'll put it in insight, sure.
Nice.
So I
Adric.
have a playbook advancement.
Adric.
It's a challenge with violence or coercion. I think 2 there.
Who'd you
one
beat up?
Murder
Oh,
spree.
you beat up. You beat up.
Everyone.
You beat up.
One
beat
for the
up a
murder
lot of
spree.
people.
At the end.
Yeah, I forgot.
Address your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
We had the Mercy scene again in a different way, and we had the end with Caslin, where she has now given up all hope for your humanity.
So 2 there, and issues for vice and trauma. I'd say 1 for the cold trauma for some reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think that there's anything for paranoid or anything else on for cold.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, you didn't end up having
I-
issues. Mercy wasn't there to fight, so you attacking her first didn't harm you. So yeah, I assume that was because of paranoid,
Yeah, good point actually.
but I didn't end up suffering.
Then again, it's not actually harm, it's you struggled
It
with.
struggled with.
True. That's up to you. Do you consider yourself to have struggled with paranoid? You know what? The Spirit Warden thing. I
Yeah.
would call that a struggle.
Yeah, that's more of a
All right.
struggle.
There was a
Which
scene in conversation about it.
I specifically called out your trauma or your fear.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, no, I'll take that.
Cool.
And Hicks.
All right. So I addressed the challenge with rhetoric or destruction. I argue too.
Yep. Many smoke
Yeah.
bombs. Many bombs of non-smoke
Yeah.
version.
So I have one.
The only person that could set up bombs on the wall.
They're just so complicated.
Yep. I expressed a belief, drive,
hit one
heritage,
button.
or background.
Put silences on a bomb.
Shoot.
Listen, I was trying to make it easier for you. You know colors.
Haven't you figured out yet?
I didn't have
Colorblind.
much time to express much in this score. It was go, 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 get it all done. Like there was not a lot that I could
kind
express.
Of, Hicks
and I
was the driving like project manager this time.
Yeah, because I wanted this job to get done so we could free up our actual business. Hicks was just more bad that he has to deal with the whole like now we gotta do actual crime and not our weird side crime adjacent bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe one. So that's now here's the question. I want to pull the group real fast. These are my two things because
That you're considering taking?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'd say
Evolutionary
driven
so useful.
probably right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we just like we said before, we haven't really engaged the nobility at all. I mean, we could make that transition.
Well, it's government or nobility.
The government,
but
Right.
Yeah,
Does the Spirit Wardens count as government?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
very much do.
Spirit
the
Warden,
list.
Ironhook Prison, Blue Coats,
Yep.
all of them.
Speaking of which, after this is why we keep skipping it. We need to look at the factions going up or down. Because
Yeah.
that's the job list.
Yep. I will. I was actually going to tell you.
Also, I totally forgot about Ghost Wolf, so I could spend a coin to do that downtime.
We'll do that next session, of course.
I didn't address the ghost in the room.
Yes. In terms of the bill hooks, you're going to get a -1 with them, just because of unsubstantiated rumors. Like, they don't know that you were involved, but they're like,
But you guys didn't die.
Yeah. And then they're still going down to tier 1, though strong. So the same tier as you guys now.
We could totally take them, guys.
Yeah, Ulf is dead. Ulf Ironborn is dead.
I want to. Hold on, I gotta see this magic. I need the sheet.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
And then
Just gonna pull him down here
Yeah.
into the dead list.
Ironhook Prison, for some reason, you get a -1 with them. It's astonishing.
Oh, I wonder why.
know.
One with who?
Oh no,
Ironhook
the
Prison.
Ironhook. Don't do it, Spence. Don't do it to us. They didn't know it was us.
What? Your word? I'll do
Point
this.
of order. Did they go down to the weak hold? We
Ironhook
blew a hole
Prison?
in their wall.
You're right, actually. Yeah. Well, you didn't blow a hole in their wall. You caused distraction, but there was still a prison break, and that itself makes them weak hold.
And ghosts.
Yeah, all of the whole things. Forgotten Knows, Demon of Sitar is already allies. Skullbinder refugees.
The Spirit Warden specifically didn't know we did it.
The Spirit
Yeah.
Wardens had no idea and never found out.
Okay.
No, like
Well,
there's
no
stuff
war.
about you being insinuated.
Spirit Wardens
the
were going to be
prison
talking with
break.
the bill hooks.
No one except the demons knows that you were behind that. Everyone thinks it was just a horrible coincidence.
Coincidence, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, there's not a -1 with the Spirit Wardens right now.
Are the Spirit Wardens in weak hold?
Oh,
Yeah, they got fucked up.
The war is still ongoing. While people are at war, actually, they're at weak hold. So yes, the Spirit Wardens are at weak hold. Even Stars were already at weak hold. So yes, they're at weak hold too. Cool. And anything else that has happened that I can tell you about?
I
Because
just
we
want
completely
to.
ignored last week's news.
Oh no, yeah, that's fine. That's
What
still
was last week's news again?
I don't even
3
remember.
things I mentioned that have happened. You'll find out that the Bluecoats have gotten a permission and they have an increased budget from the city council, so now they're going to start equipping better stuff, like much more advanced and armored and weapons and guns and everything.
Defund the Bluecoats. That's all I'm saying.
Where did we get? Wait. When did
I
we
was
get
gonna
on-
say it, but I was like, that's poor taste.
Yeah, the city council will be voting soon on a bill to massively increase the Bluecoats' budget for equipment and arms. That was last time.
We might
Oh.
I might have a supply mission well in hand.
Ooh, we
The
steal the
Bluecoats are getting
Bluecoats.
a massive budget increase for supply and arms. They have to come from somewhere.
In
That's
which
a
case,
good
take,
idea.
Take that XP trigger.
Do it.
I'm allowed to
Revolutionary.
changing my decision.
Yeah.
To revolutionary.
Now,
Oh boy.
Okay, cool.
Just because
There's more things that will happen, but some of them are seen, so we'll see them next
Yeah.
week.
yeah, no,
Oh,
I
in 2
get,
weeks.
but but the Bluecoats getting. Thank you for reminding us, because that's a great way to get new supplies. We intercept the Bluecoats
SWAT
gun
gear.
truck.
And we have our transport mission finally. We just take it and run.
It's just a chase scene on a truck.
Their shipment, and we take it.
So, this is just because it's on my possible veteran abilities, and in case the scene goes bad.
That is a good idea to take.
Yep. I might be changing mine from analyst to something else a little bit more
You're gonna take
volatile.
reflexes also.
All right. Well,
think I'm
we
gonna
know what
look
we're
at
doing.
Spider
We're
more.
off next week, but we'll be
Mhm.
back in 2 weeks to see episode 10, where maybe everybody dies in a fiery explosion in that truck, and also because
I mean,
people might shoot
are we
other
even gonna
people.
get there? I mean,
I don't know.
all the clocks are full. Like we're
Yeah, no, wait, we
Oh my
might not
God,
even have
Cox
the
is going
score.
to hit
Next
me
session
up.
might just be free play. We'll see. But this is
Yeah,
great.
it might just all be scenes.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. This is crazy. Yes.
End of Act 2.
And I would call this the start of Act 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely like the Empire's invading Hoth. Let's go.
Yeah,
We've
that's what I
started
see it.
getting
Like,
into
we've
each other's
introduced the
throats.
faction, and then, like, Ulf Ironborn dies at the end of Act 1 as sort of, like, as you rise up on his corpse. And
Ironic.
then- yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was amazing.
Cool.
Back in 2 weeks.